Are you Death Scourge ready? What last minute prep do you need to do before Death Scourge is finally upon us? We got some stores in the game, and we're talking about what are the best purchase decisions for the present store and the Crucible store. And will we finally get this Teal War Orb before the end of 2022? We're talking all about that and more in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I got the Death Scourge expert on, DorkyDad, and if you're ready for it, DorkyDad, tell him what to do, my brother.
Let's go Scourge it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, happy holidays, Valley Club. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day. We have a lot to discuss on this video. And if this is your first time here, we talk about Marvel Strike Force on this video, at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. And if you want more of that, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to the podcast version of this, hit that 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening to. We are talking all about Marvel Strike Force and everything coming up that you need to get ready for. The Death Scourge, we got some new stores that you need to purchase, make some wise purchase decisions for. I'm talking all about that and more with my brother DorkyDad, the Death Scourge expert. How are you, DorkyDad?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, Valley?
Good, good, good. So I was not able to get any test server access for this Death Scourge because my roster wasn't updated and none of my minions were built up, but you were doing Death Scourge. What are your overall impressions of it? And what are your overall impressions of Marvel Strike Force right now?
So Marvel Strike Force right now is in a big lull. And for me, when I'm in a lull, Scourge tends to kind of lift me out of it because I have a lot of fun doing Scourge.
Yes.
Scourge videos, streaming that, all that kind of stuff, right? I really enjoy that. So
and you got a new Scourge video, right? Coming out.
Oh, I got a lot of new Scourge videos coming out.
Nice. I'm gonna be watching those. I need as many stars as possible on my Archangels. I'm gonna be watching your videos. And guys, make sure you check all his videos. That's where I go for my Scourge info. The links to his channel, everything's gonna be down below. But let's talk about some strategies that some people are using for Scourge. There was this Reddit post that chat filled me onto this morning that I did want to read to you and see if you agree with some of the advice here. I know everyone is freaking out at the Scourges. Certain teams need it. And let me actually move this down a little bit so we can give a shout out to the author of this. I know everybody is freaking out about the Scourges. Certain teams need it. In my opinion, you're better off waiting until the event drops, seeing if you can unlock it without jumping a ton of resources into minions or mutants, especially with how many tunes have dropped and already being mutants. This person's personal strategy is to reach 500,000 score without spending anything on these tunes, then maxing out Angel Death Seed, and finally seeing where you need to max out. Most helping these Scourge nodes is level up before the second run. So that is when this person's going to make their major second run. This is what I've kind of done with these previous Scourges. I went all out on Morgan Le Fay, but with Rogue, Red Hulk, I did one run and then I kind of waited to the end. Is this what you're recommending to players now that you've had a taste of this Death Scourge on the test server?
No, and I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at how easy it is to get to the minion section. That doesn't mean it's okay there's a minion section. It doesn't mean it's okay that we have to even put levels on some of these minions. But like, say you built up your Ravagers for the War Scourge, and maybe you have like a level 75 Merc Lieutenant from when they were meta in War Defense.
Yes.
You're going to be able to do difficulty 8. So as long as your hero section is fine, you'll have Eternals. As long as you have Bionic Avengers and War Dogs and Wakanda up to a respectable level, and then your mutants and your legendary characters, hopefully you have that settled. Well, because legendary characters are horsemen, we all have them maxed because they're forcing us to do that for Apocalypse. And hopefully with the Cosmic Crucible season, you put some love into your hero mutants because they are going to really, really help you in that section. So minimal investment into minions can still get you pretty deep into the Death Scourge. And I don't think over 500k is going to be terribly difficult for people.
Okay, nice. So that's good, at least for the unlock. I guess some of the harder difficulties will be a little more challenging. And I want to know, I know you built up your shield, and there's a lot of questions. As you can see, I'm starting to build up my aim right now. In your opinion, trying out some of these teams, what do you think is the best route for these minions? Is it shield? Is it aim like I'm building? And a lot of that is based on red stars. I don't know if I would recommend this yet. And based on some of the Scourges we see, Ravagers is another popular choice. Ravagers combined with the Mercs, or using multiple minion teams to kind of whittle down these nodes. What do you think, based on what you've experienced so far, would be the best course of action for building up minions?
So I maxed out my shield team.
Okay.
And I would strongly recommend not maxing out your shield team.
Oh, no. Okay.
And I made a lot of disclaimers in that video. So if somebody told you that I recommended it, no, I didn't. I told you what I was doing. It's different.
All right.
They struggled so
you
much.
make the mistakes so that we don't have to, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
So I tried difficulty 9 with them with Scourges on. They got waxed. I tried difficulty 8 with them with Scourges on. They can muddle through it, but super difficultly. And then I had my Ravagers built already from being in the war team. I had my Merc Lieutenant and my Riot Guard built from when they were meta on the Taskmaster team. And I walked through the nodes with Ravager, Merc Lieutenant, and Riot Guard. And I mean, I walked through difficulty 9, which is the high. Like, my other teams can't handle difficulty 9. My War Dog can't handle difficulty 9. But my Ravager team walked through it. So I was like, oh, all right. Okay.
I'm kind of regretting all this fancy aim thing. I mean, everybody's initial impression was Ravagers, Lieutenant, Merc, Riot Guard, and it seems like that is ending up to be the best choice based on what you're hearing. Hopefully, I know you didn't try aim, so hopefully aim still has some viability. I didn't totally waste all these resources on them.
It could be. I only was able to test the teams I had built on the playtest server, which was Shield and the Ravagers. Aim, I have no idea about. Creed, don't know. The hand reworked minions, maybe they'll have enough damage that it'll override anything. What I can tell you is that this section is very easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna see it's very easy.
Okay. So I guess at this point, I'm not continuing to build my aim. I've got to see how they do. I'm going to test them firsthand and maybe put a little love into this Merc Lieutenant, because you said that's a good character as well. All right. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to all your videos as well. Let's talk about this minion section. You said that's not that bad. The other section that I think some people are concerned about is these non-legendary mutants. And just FYI, guys, if you want to check out what all the nodes are, they are on msf.gg right now in that map section, as you can see right here. But what do you think is worse based on what you saw? This non-legendary mutants at these high levels, or these minions at the high levels?
So at the higher levels, your non-legendary mutant section is going to hold you back and be much more difficult and much more reset heavy than your minions will be, assuming you've leveled your minions, right? If you're trying to really squeeze out from them their maximum potential with minimal investment, it's going to be a different story. But mechanically, the nodes are easier for minions 1 and 2. Mechanically, for these non-legendary mutants, it doesn't look bad at first glance, but we do have buffed minions here. That Star-Lord T'Challa can hit really hard.
Yeah.
And then the Calling and Taskmaster doing blinds is an absolute nightmare for certain teams.
I remember on some of these other Scourges, you would have to send in some sacrifice teams just to get out some of the T'Challa's specials and ult and then go in later. Is that what you had to do on a test server when you were using this?
No, because I would use Scourges that would give energy.
Gotcha.
Kind of
Makes
thing.
sense.
But what I can say is, if you're not using too many Scourges, the Unlimited team, which I know everyone basically has built up with Emma or Wolverine, they can walk through these nodes as well with limited Scourges and probably a difficulty lower. So it's not like you're not going to be able to complete the Scourge at higher difficulties, but if you're a sweaty tryhard who's trying to put on hundreds of Scourge points, that's when that section gets incredibly difficult.
Gotcha. All right. So everybody's talking about these minions, non-legendary mutants. Heroes seems like they're easy on the surface. Legendaries seems like they're easy on the surface. Are there any problem nodes in either of these sections that you ran across, or are these just as easy as everybody's expecting it to be?
So Heroes is very easy, but that's the section where we're going to set the stage. We're going to be able to prep cooldowns for the non-legendary mutant. That's where we're going to charge our Storm so she can trivialize one node. And we're going to have to prep our Red Hulk for the legendary section. It looks easy at first glance, But don't forget that Zombie Iron Man uses your own strength against you. So if you're going in there with 4 horsemen and you're getting bleeds from the Morbius, from the Greg, from the Hela, from the Voodoo, then Zombie Iron Man calls your own characters to kill themselves. So it can get very, very difficult. And again, with enough Scourges, all of a sudden it's taking a little bit longer to take out that Zombie Iron Man than you otherwise would think. So the Legendary section is not as trivial as you would think.
Okay.
And then nodes 5 and 10.
Yeah, let's talk about nodes 5 and 10. Any issues with 5 and 10? Because we're talking beforehand, and you told me some surprising things about what I thought would be an easy cleanup on node 5 based on these enemies. But you're saying, you talk about a different team here.
So when I was trying to do like the highest run possible, I soared through the minion section like we just talked about. I soared through the hero section. Then I hit node 5. And my War Dogs does seem to be the better team mechanically, trying to steal some immunities, peeling off buffs like taunts that are happening on spawn, given certain Scourges. They don't have enough damage, at least mine don't. My my new characters are 5/5. Even with a 7 red Black Panther, I didn't have enough oomph to just like walk through node 5 on difficulty 9.
Okay.
On difficulty 8, everything died. I hit auto and Black Panther was just like, you're dead and 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 you're dead. So depending on what you're pushing and how high your Black Panther is, this node can be very difficult. And Bionic Avengers don't hold up good with all the Scourges. Yeah, unfortunately, because I know people are like, dude, the Bionic Avengers are the obvious team. They're the right team.
Yeah, these guys look so slow. Bionic Avengers, I thought would be good, but I'm glad you're telling me that they're not now, so I could focus more on my Wakandans and building them up. I guess specifically the War Dogs. Any issues with node 10, or were you really trying to set the stage with some of these previous nodes to set up your Wakandans and Bionic Avengers?
So node 10 can be pretty tricky for the War Dog team because there's an echo on it, and then Rogue drops in halfway through. So Rogue with Gambit. Oh, that looks horrible. So, and you may not like this, Bionic Avengers are great for basically prepping the node for War Dogs. So they go in, they do a bunch of AoEs, they don't care about blinds, they get offense up, they're good in that sense. They can take out the Echo, they can take out the Gambit, and then they die to the Rogue abilities. And then your War Dogs can go in and clean it up.
Okay, not bad. And then maybe sending in like a Killmonger and M'Baku to eat up some Rogue ultimates and then going in with the War Dogs later.
Yeah. If your Bionic Avengers didn't live long enough to pull both Rogue abilities, then you can send in one of the other Wakandans that you're not going to use. Okay,
so basically, your War Dogs or Wakandas, they need to do very good at node 5 for you to even have a chance on node 10, because node 10 looks very difficult.
Yeah, the high-end runs, the people who are trying to get top 50, it might be difficulty 9 with a whack of Scourges on, but only completing 9 out of 10 nodes, because they might need to use both of their teams on node 5.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll see what the strategy is. Is it try to use a lot of Scourges and get through node 9, rack up the points there, or maybe not do as many Scourges and do a full run? I guess it's gonna determine to keep these different calculations for different people. All right, so that looks very fun. Now we did get also a confirmation that there's no Minion Rework coming. Now this was a surprise to me when the update dropped. Not as much a surprise when this was announced though. They said there's some inquiries asking if minions or characters are receiving reworks. I think a lot of those came from before the update dropped, but there's no currently plans to rework the minion characters regarding the Death Scourge event. We have slightly adjusted the node difficulties, requiring the minions to be easier, allowing more variety of team compositions. And it looks like at the lower difficulties, you do have a wide variety of lower or different compositions that you could use. Now, when you saw this, were you surprised that there wasn't another Minion Rework coming sometime down the road, or at least planned? Or were you as soon as the update dropped, you're like, yeah, it's not coming?
Yeah, as soon as we knew all the characters that were coming in the patch, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I thought for sure we were gonna get like a Madam Viper to rework Hydra, or some kind of shield character I don't know about to rework them, or I don't know, some Kree character. I thought something was coming, just like last year when we got Star-Lord T'Challa and the Ravagers got a big stat buff and kit buffs there, right?
Yes.
I thought for sure that was coming. I didn't think Scopely would be stupid enough to make people require minions. Because here's the truth of the matter. In this minion section nonsense, those minion nodes, they're so easy mechanically, it's just a tax to do the Scourge. Like, people are right that having to level your minions to whatever the bare minimum is to get through your desired difficulty is still just a tax on you to participate in the Scourge. And that sucks. At least with a rework. Like, yeah.
Well, sorry. Well, finish your thought. I got a different question for that.
Yeah, at least for the rework, you could see some benefit from doing that down the road. But it's literally just you're building this team. If you do Ravagers, Mercs, great. You just got yourself like a C- war offense team. So there's no benefit in no matter who you bring up for this.
So you're just building up these minions for Archangel, pretty much.
Pretty much.
All right. So what it feels worse, Winter Soldier back in the day, or the minions right now? Minions and that was for the Omega Red and stuff like that.
Yeah, minions right now, because Winter Soldier, there was always something in the back of your mind, like he's in the MCU, he's Bucky, he could get on a team. Lo and behold, he's now on the Rebirth team. So I always had that, like he's not a minion, you know?
Yeah. Well, let's go back even further then. Let's talk about Nick Fury and the Kree minions, because to unlock Omega Red, not only did you have to build up Winter Soldier, you have to build up Nick Fury, which if you did not have him built up, you needed to build up your Kree minions, who at the time of his release was bad. At the time of the Omega Red release, they were bad, and they're not going to get a rework. Yeah. What felt worse to you? This requirement right now for some useless minions for a legendary character, or back then?
Back then, I did it passively. I wasn't super into Nick Fury. It kind of just happened when it happened. That was before Omega Red. I long had a Nick Fury 7 star before Omega Red. For people today starting right now, that is so wrong. I'm gonna keep it PG. That is so wrong. And Scopely needs to address that. They clearly understand minions aren't good, but they're forcing it on us here. Forcing it on all new players until the end of this game is not cool, and they should change it. You know, Iron Man is released by Shield. Have Nick Fury be released by Shield as well. 2 legendaries for the price of 1. Who cares, right? Like,
well, Kree now has double value, right, for Nick Fury and Archangel. Or am I stretching?
No, sir. No, we're not doing that.
All right, let's move on. All right, I'm looking forward to playing this Scourge, because I couldn't play it on the test server. All right, let's move on. We got this. This was what the present store looked like before we got these new characters added. 600,000 for Morgan Faith, 450,000 for Abomination, 450,000 for Icarus. We got a little preview before the characters changed over of this. 1.3 for Hulkbuster, 1.15 for Spider Weaver, 1.3 for Agatha Harkness. It looks like this in the game right now. So went down slightly from what it was before, but it's still a significant price increase with this. So why do you think this was unannounced before this? Because honestly, I would have bought Icarus previous to this if I knew that these price increases, because that Icarus would have got me, that Icarus purchase would have got to 7 stars. So how upset were you by this? Did it affect you at all? Did it affect any of your purchases or anything like that? And did it switch what you would do if you knew what these future prices would be?
No, so I'm in a lucky enough boat, I guess, where the characters that I'm interested in are in weeks 3 and 4.
Okay.
But I can see objectively how this is just bad. Like, and it's so silly because it stems from the fact that they're giving us fewer presents in the opening of the milestones and more presents in the later. They should have equalized that and had all the prices be the same. Like if they wanted Morgan to cost more because she's a horseman, same with Rogue, fine. Having Agatha cost more is just, it's clearly just greed because they know that they've been super stingy with Agatha. Hulkbuster's in that store now. That store is actually not terrible. So it's really weird.
I like that store. I like that Crucible store.
Exactly. So this whole event, all this month's events seem just like really, really poorly thought out and even more poorly executed.
Yeah, and it's evident by all the reactionary things that they do, the changes that they make since they go live. Like, oh man, I wish they thought of that before it actually went live. If they would only have someone like testing out their stuff and giving them feedback, and then actually listening to the feedback, that would be so good. But yeah, so week one is over right now. Week 2, we do have Hulkbuster in there. We have Weaver in there, Agatha in there. Week 3, Dazzler, Spider-Man 2099, and Braun. Who are you shooting for? And is there any targets for week 2 right now? What's currently in the store?
Week 2, no. I lucked out and I got a lot of Weaver from Premium Orbs.
Lucky. All right. Who are your targets for week 3?
My week 3 targets are Brawn. If it's at
Brawn.
50 shards, I will be able to get him to 7-star.
Nice. Congratulations on that. Dazzler, are you done with Dazzler, or do you need more Dazzler?
Yeah, I've been done with Dazzler for a little bit now.
Okay, so and then I guess the rest on Nemesis after that.
I thought about that until I saw that price tag, because if I do 1 for Brawn, I think I can only get 1 for Nemesis. So I think it'll be 1 for Brawn, 1 for Noir, and 1 for Nemesis. And I think that would be the totality of the presents they give us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of shooting for either Dazzler or Brawn. I'm not sure. Neither of them for me are 7 stars. And then obviously Nemesis, because Noir doesn't have a lot of value for me. And Rogue, I already have it at 7 stars from the Scourge event. So that's what
for me, Noir is just because that would be like the perfect balance of how many presents I was given from the event. But we'll see. I'm kind of in like you. I'm almost like, man, I kind of just want to buy 100 Nemesis shards. And my understanding is he's a campaign event release.
That's what the indication was. I do want to talk a little more in detail later, but it seems like he is like a campaign release character, and we have a date for that in the blog post. So not sure. It's just, I wish we had all this information on day 1 of this store, and then we could sort of budget how we're going to use our 4 million if we're going to get all those complete. Let's talk about what's in the store right now, because some people are buying these character shards, but there's also a good argument to be made for something all the way down here. These 2 T2 level 4 ions. This is almost going to use all of your presents, but what this will allow you to do is get 1 more character up to level 4 blue of the ISO, which could mean the difference between Apocalypse Unlock or not. Is this something that you're considering? And if not, why aren't more people talking about this?
I'm not considering it at all, because it's not a big enough value. I think it would need to be twice that.
It's a horrible value, but if this is going to get you an Apocalypse Unlock versus character shards that may not even get you the next star level, this seems like it may be a better purchase, even though the value on it is horrible.
I don't know. If I had to choose, say I didn't have Weaver completely done, I think I would still dump all my presents into Weaver, even if it just got me to like 100 out of 200 for a 6-star before I would consider this.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain players that this will be the better purchase, and then other players it's just going for the shards. And I guess it's that cutoff, right? If that is going to make a difference and that final character for Apocalypse, then it may help, especially if your alliance isn't fully participating as Cornered Assault, which we're going to talk about a little later. Now, we did get some additions to this store as well. We talked about that briefly. Hulkbuster is in this store, which is why I wouldn't recommend Hulkbuster, which is why I did not purchase Abomination on week 1. But we got great characters in here. And now there's also a discussion. Should you be using your Crucible Elite credits on these characters, which I'm using? I'm thinking we're going to take Gambit up to 6 and Abomination up to 6 and then just wait there. Or should you use it on some of these orbs? We don't have a lot of teal gear available in the game right now. What are you leaning towards right now? These character shards, these rare character shards that Gambit was a horrible release. And then, so a lot of people don't have a lot of shards on him. Abomination is an important character on that Gambit team. Or this teal gear, which we're going to need. Some people don't have all of their characters up to gear tier 16. This might make a difference on that. What do you think is the better purchase here for the Crucible Elite credits right now?
For me, hands down, it's character shards.
Character shards.
And even I have Gambit 7, I have A-Bomb 7, but my Hulkbuster is sitting at 6.5. Okay. I'm going to bring him all the way up to 7. And then I'm going to sit on those currencies until they put new characters in there. Because that's definitely going to be like the new War Store, right? Where they put all the crazy new characters.
Yeah. They did say they're going to be they did say they're going to be rotating these characters through. So
well, there you go, and they're statically there, right? So you can get 5 shards for those characters every times a day.
I'm actually going to do that right now. My store reset before we started recording, so I'm going to get both of those now.
There you go. Like if I was a newer player, I think I would still go for the shards. I think, like you're suggesting, I would bring all these characters up to 6, and then I would let it sit, and I'd let that build up over time, see if they eventually make it into a node, like most store characters do. But I wouldn't care so much about the teal, because you get some teal from the raid orbs, right? You get some from events here and there, not too much, because they always bury them behind hundreds of dollars of sales for events. But I feel like I'm almost more comfortable letting that happen organically and keeping my character stars up up to date kind of thing. Because now with Horsemen being as good as they are, people are just getting more gold promos. They're like, where do I spend this on? Like, I'd love to spend it on Gambit, but I don't have them at 6 or 7 yellow stars. It's like, well, if you could fill that out, then you can buy Gambit 6 or 7 red star. There you go. He's a super fun character, right?
You mentioned those promo credits. I don't know what to do with mines. Because either I don't have the characters at the gold star level to make the purchase make sense, or the good characters are locked behind these dark promo credits. So kind of not sure what to do with all this silver and gold promo credits right now. Anyway. All right, so that's leaning towards charge. I'm leaning towards charge right now. If you're leaning towards the gear, let me know in the comments and let me know why you're leaning towards the gear in the comments. I do want to move on to this event that is going on right now, the Deathbringer, the Herald of Death event that I don't know. It seems okay. It seems okay if you're just looking to get this carrot nose here. You get that by battling in war. You're using your campaign energy. You're getting these Deathbringer orb fragments, which I'm not sure how it is listed. Is it still select nodes that have these Deathbringer orb fragments, or is it all nodes? Because I know all the nodes that I'm farming have these Deathbringer orb fragments. Or is it all the nodes across the board? I haven't checked that out yet.
So it seems to be all the new nodes nodes in the Doom campaign, and then select nodes. And we should definitely give a big shout out for Tana, because he like really fought for that to be the case, that like newer nodes should always have the event currencies on them, because like endgame players do not want to farm green gear to participate in events. So big shout out to Tana for that one.
Big shout out to him, but it's silly that he has to fight for that. It seems like it would be obvious that the devs were just like, we want you to do these new nodes. Let's just include all this currency. It seems so silly that we have to fight for that stuff. That's ridiculous. Anyway.
No, I agree. But this event, it sucks. Like this is definitionally, I think Boilon coined this term, whale stones. Like, yes, you can get the carrot, but everything below it, you might as well pretend doesn't exist, because it's just going to be copious amounts of those orbs. And it's just like, okay, I'm like, cool.
I'd love this. I would love this right here. I need that for my Red Hulk and everybody, but I don't think I'm getting there. That's just too many points. But the carrot shouldn't be that tough to grind out and give you all your snowballs and get you all your currency for that present store. All right. So, and what are you shooting for? Are you just shooting for milestone 32, or are you shooting for something a little bit beyond this? Because a lot of times I haven't
33.
Okay. I know a lot of my previous targets on these events. I'm like, oh, this is not a very friendly event. And then by the end of it, I'm like maybe down here or something. How did that happen? I wasn't really grinding on this event or something like that. So, all right. So that is a good, it seems good if you're just going for the minimal and not trying to max out these milestones. All right. The other thing is this orb itself. We had some question about this orb here. Not a solid orb. We have normally with these event orbs before the Scourge event, we've had training mats. This one has no training mats, only character shards for some hero mutants on the left pillar. We have some decent shards on the right pillar, and the center pillar, excuse me, with these war dogs, some of the more recent characters. And then this right pillar has some trashy minions here, diminishing the value of this orb. So I guess my first question is, why is there no training mats in this orb like there has been for some of the pre-Scourge event orbs that are associated with events?
I think they're stretching people's rosters more in this Scourge than they ever have before. So if they limit the amount of training materials they give out during this time, it will increase training material sales. It just will. People are going to have to level the minions they haven't yet. Some non-legendary mutants, maybe they're war dogs, maybe put extra levels in Bionic Avengers. Maybe some offbeat legendary characters that you haven't maxed out. You may need to put some more stuff into them, the non-horseman ones. So, sorry, I got itchy nose. I think that's why. I think it's just a business decision. It's definitely not one that I recommend during the holiday seasons where we've already been pretty Scroogey.
Is there any way to spin this into a player-friendly decision? Because I'm not seeing it.
It'll help you unlock Iron Man and Nick Fury. Let's go.
Nice. But you know who's not in this minion section here? AIM. So are they kind of telling us that AIM is a real team here? I'm hoping that that's what it means.
Maybe, but you know what? If you go back to the middle pillar, I saw something pretty interesting.
What is in the middle pillar? What did I miss here?
Oh, those are uncanny members. I wonder if that's a hint that they might be pretty good. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, the magic storm of that mutant section. I like that. I like that thoughts. Yeah, along with the Wakandans and some. All right, so this is the one. I think the middle pillar is where we want. Uncanny seems like the team. You know, I've heard a lot of people say build up Storm, build up Magic, build up Colossus for that node, and Cyclops is in there as well. He's a pretty good opening move. So yeah, that may be a hint. That's interesting. I didn't notice that either, but that's a good one. All right, now we did get another event, an unannounced event, where you need to hoard. So I guess the new thing in Marvel Strike Force is ABH. A always B, H hoarding. Always be hoarding, because you never know if you're gonna get these kind of rate of fortune events coming up. Do you think that they forgot to announce this, or there was some nefarious plan to get us to spend all of our raid rewards? Because on Monday, I opened a lot of my old raid rewards that I was hoarding, because they didn't announce anything on Friday. There's no event coming up at least this week. Wrong, because this was announced later. So, what do you think the cause of this was? Forgetfulness? Or
no,
evil.
No, this was like, last time we ran this event, they hoarded all their mails, and some stinky, cheap, free-to-play players completed it. Can't have that. Drop it on them 2 days before it launches.
Yeah, we don't want you to get benefits by this from earning raid credits. No, you're supposed to spend power cores. It's a spender milestone, but
exactly.
But there's still some stuff that we're gonna get anyway, just from earning those raid credits, just from the power cores that we're normally gonna spend. What is a realistic target on this one? Are you thinking right before all the good stuff here, right before this Deathlock charge, something nobody's gonna get before milestone 16 if they didn't hoard their resources and aren't spending power cores? And
I think it maps out to around, if you're doing 3.4 and you're doing about 200 cores a day on the regular energy, and during coordinated assault, if you're dropping 200 cores, I think it mapped out to like the Deathlock. You might be able to get Deathlock with a little bit extra incentive. Was that
with hoarding or without hoarding?
That was without hoarding. With hoarding, okay. I think you got like 70. No, was that with hoarding? I could be completely wrong here. Actually, I don't know.
Okay, I didn't even bother to look at the math on this, because looked at it like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I normally do. I wish I could have hoarded more, but yeah. And then all this stuff, you got a gold orb here, some training orbs here, free stuff down here. So just doing stuff I normally would do. And then I guess this is kind of the whale bait here to get you to spend more, those dark promo credits, those dark beast shards and everything like that. So if you're looking at it in that sense, it's not a bad event, because this is stuff that we normally would do anyway. But if you're trying to complete this event, it is pretty grindy. And I think it's a good thing about this. There's no snowballs attached to this, so it's not related to the month-long milestone event that we screwed up our hoarding for. This is just related to these milestones here. So not the worst, but I wish they would have announced this. It seems like they could have done better with this, a lot better with this. All right.
Yeah, I'm just so tired of events that are not completable free to play. Like, I want all players to feel like they can complete an event. That would actually make them want to play the game more. I'm so over the pay to participate events.
It seems like that's a trend for 2022. I think most of these big milestone events are not completable. If you're just doing normal activity, you need to spend or something like that, and or hoard or something like that. It's still not completable for a lot of players. So it definitely feels bad. We have a lot of completable events before this year. This year, there's like been a major change for that.
Yep.
All right. We also got some lowered requirements, because like we talked about, they don't test a lot of stuff beforehand. Know how difficult it's going to be to get all of our raid characters up to ISO 8 blue level 4. They dropped the requirement for Doom 3.5 to ISO 8 blue level 3 from that. And it seems like some players are in there right now. Is your alliance in 3.5 right now?
No, we're relaxing. We're going to wait till we get Archangel, I guess tomorrow. And we'll try it with no red stars on him and see how it goes. And then maybe we'll do it every day thereafter. But I thought this was super funny, because I don't think we've ever seen this in Marvel Strike Force. The alliances at the very top that spend thousands of dollars a week, not a month, on the game, all decided that it was not worth going to 3.5. Like Legion, Mutiny, Baby Yoda, Pants, everyone was just like, pass.
So let me read this exact phrase here. It says, this is being updated at 3.15 was released 5 months ago. Since that more alliances would be attempting the difficulty this time. Are you saying that there's no alliances attempting difficulty 3.5 with all that gear under ISO 8 on them?
Before the switch, I don't think there was a single one. I think maybe Legion went in there just to get the 100%, get the first time rewards. Mutiny probably did too. But otherwise, I don't think a single alliance cared enough. They're just like, no, we're gonna do Horseman. That's gonna get us Apocalypse. We don't really care about raids. If no other alliance is pushing it, then we're not really competing against anybody in the season rewards anyway. Focus on War, focus on Crucible. Forget that. Wait.
So do you think they miscalculated how fast these alliance would be able to get there because they thought alliance would be spending more on this stuff, or they just didn't evaluate their economy before they just brought out these requirements?
Yeah, I think they didn't evaluate their economy well enough. There wasn't enough blue ISO available besides just like insane spending. And even those top alliances like Mobile Gamer, he's in Mutiny. He's not dropping thousands of dollars a month to get his ISO 4 characters on his raid characters. No, he's trying to get Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, it's all Apocalypse.
Exactly. So I think they had a really big misconception about what's happening because like 3 or 4 members in those alliances drop insane amounts of money.
I mean, if only the devs would have listened to all the content creators when they were complaining about this requirement at the time, and they just ignored it until 5 months later. But I'm glad they did it now. But yeah, it's these requirements tied to Apocalypse that we need our ISO 8 stuff for Apocalypse and unlock, and just the raids aren't as appealing for that. So
100%.
Yeah. Now, another point of frustration for a lot of players, maybe not a lot of the players at the top end alliances, but for a lot of the players that I see on Reddit, that I hear from, how much coordinated assault sucks because your individual progress is tied to your alliance. I don't even know if we're on pace for this or if we're off pace or anything like that, but if it was the old milestones, 100,000, we would have got this already. We would be complete by this already. And that coordinated assault was not that bad. Since they raised this up from 100,000 to I think 130, and now from 130 or whatever it was, it's now 141. Not as many players are completing it. There have been months that there have been a bunch of these coordinated assaults that have not gotten that final milestone. What are you feeling about this coordinated assault as one of the top end alliances, and what do you think should be done about this? Do you think that they should reduce the requirements or just tie this to individual progress or individual ISO 8 spending?
So this for us is like a non-event because those materials are so valuable that it doesn't matter. We have to core the ISO store 200 or 150 cores a day, even though we don't need green ISO whatsoever. So that's how valuable things are. So for me, I just always get it done. But again, I can empathize with the community that not every alliance has 24 sweaty nerds that are on their phone 4 times a day getting this kind of stuff done, being told by, like, we have an event organizer in our alliance that pings people what they need to do for events. And if you're falling behind, he'll ping you before it gets too late. Like, he's not going to wait till the last day and see you've only contributed 1,000 when you need to contribute 5,000. No, he'll tell you the second you're 500 points behind that, hey, you need to catch up. And that's like the next level thing, right? So
I remember being in those kind of alliances.
Yeah, it's a different game, right?
Yeah.
But they should have this. It should be 70,000 so that the vast majority of alliances are completing it, not just the top 1%. I don't see a reason. Like, ISO 4 is not game breaking in War and Crucible. Like, if everyone has ISO 4 on their characters, I'm not gonna all of a sudden be at this crazy disadvantage at a later game alliance. I still have crazy advantages. I'm still probably gonna come out on top. But this would let them do things like the raid, do things like unlock Apocalypse before he's like obsolete. Like, some people are unlocking Dorm now, but he's almost obsolete now. Yeah. I feel like they need to get better at making the community more fulfilled.
I think they got to get better about playing their own game. They would have realized how tough this is in the current state of the game. When some alliances at the top, yes, they're going to do that. But there's a lot of middle game alliances that they're not full. They're not able to complete this. I like your solution even better. I was thinking bring it back down to 100,000. Yeah, bring it even less. Bring it to 70,000, and then you don't even have to worry about this, because even if you're just doing your normal refreshes, if all 24 members are doing this shouldn't be a problem. Or even a few of the core spending. But if you're getting like 5 or 10 alliance members that are hardcore into the game, and then maybe some of the bottom 5 to 10 that just don't care, that's where this causes problems. So I hope they make some changes to this. I know they want alliance participation. They want, you know, your alliance mates to pressure you into playing the game. That's why we have all these kind of alliance events. But you know, it's more fun when we're able to complete all these events and not have these extra things in there that are not completable.
I agree.
All right, we got a new character sort of in the game. His event is not coming out for a while. We will talk about his event because we do have a date on that. But Nemesis is in the game right now. Now, are you guys, I don't know if you guys are, I don't know how far you guys are going in the mutant section right now, but have you tried this 4-person Dead Sea team without Archangel?
Yeah, we do 100% 3.4 every day.
Okay.
They're very good, even the 4-piece. I personally like doing Omega Red, but I don't think they are the answer as the 4-piece. Little bits of RNG moments here and there can get you just absolutely obliterated, especially if, say, you have a 3-star Nemesis or a 5-star even. You get absolutely blown up.
Okay, so how big is your Death Seed that you're able to 100% that on a daily basis? Are you guys, is it an easy push for your alliance mates? Are they have to core a few of these nodes? Are they have to heal their characters? Or is this an easier push than some people are suspecting with just a 4-piece team?
Well, we're using them in conjunction with the Axemen still. Like my default team isn't Death Seed yet. I still use Axemen node 1. I'll use Axemen node 2. Sometimes I'll get through it. Sometimes I'll lose in the second wave. And if I lose in the second wave, then I'll bring in Death Seed Omega Red. I'll get it done there. And then we all tag team the boss node still. I think we still do a burn attack on it. And then actually Death Seed is phenomenal on that boss node with Omega Red, that trauma for Icarus, and then also for Morgan, all those ability blocks and everything. They're definitely a very good team. And I'm excited. Like, you don't even need to worry about this anymore because tomorrow Archangel drops and I think he's going to make that lane everyone's favorite lane.
Easy mode.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, even better than the Bionic Avengers. Your prediction?
I don't like the Bionic Avengers.
No, they can sim though. I don't know about 3.5, but at 3.4 they can sim a few of those nodes there. So that saves time. I like that.
They can. I think they're going to be better than the Mystic section, and the Mystic section is Autumn.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. Mystic section has got a lot of options there, so that's good. All right, so we have the event schedule that was released a little while ago. We have this Herald of Death going on right now. Progeny of Apocalypse. They usually launch the final character for these Horseman teams after the Horseman event or during the Horseman event. Looks like this is the unlock for Nemesis. Now, do we think this is just going to be a normal campaign event or something special like some of the other events have some milestones attached to it, some orbs, there's some different things, some more convolution tied to these events, if that's even a word. Are you suspecting this is going to be just a normal campaign event or something else like we got with the last, I think it was Nakia that had that last campaign event.
Yeah, Nakia had a campaign event. She had a milestone running alongside it. My last other character I remember was Valkyrie, had the same kind of thing. And they normally run into the monthly event with like the snowballs and some kind of item. So I do think we'll get it again. It seems to be their new format. But because it's around the Christmas season, who knows? Maybe they'll simplify it just so that if things go wrong, they're not having to open up their computer on Christmas Eve or something to fix it.
Gotcha. Now there are some things wrong already with Nemesis. As we look at this blog post here, find a bug with Nemesis in combat when he attacks and kills the primary target. He's not stealing the health as intended. So it's probably better to just tap the target and not kill them at this point. Team is working quickly to address this. We'll keep you updated. I don't think we've gotten word yet, unless we've gotten it and I missed it. Do you know if this bug has been fixed?
I don't think it's been fixed yet. I assume it'll be fixed maybe next patch. Like I don't know how. Normally they kind of drag their feet, but maybe it'll be sooner. Maybe it'll be hotfix. And again, we should give a shout out for Tana. Tana brought this up right away, and then they addressed it right away, which is new for them. So hopefully it means they're going to fix it sooner.
I'm glad they addressed it right away. Hopefully they fix it right away. But until then, until we get confirmation of this, I guess don't kill the target that you're trying to kill with Nemesis. Yeah, because he's not going to give you that health steal that he wants. All right. Moving on, we have Fortified Chromium in the store. They updated Fortified Chromium, needed for Archangel, Zombie Iron Man, and we do have evidence that it is in the store right now. This is not my screenshot. I would have bought this right away, but it's in there. Stores before the Death Scourge event. How valuable is this? And were you someone that saved all of your Fortified Chromium with when Zombie Iron Man came out and during his event, or did you put it right on Zombie Iron Man using that character?
I gear tiered 16 Zombie Iron Man the second I could.
Nice. Me too. I used mine right away.
Yeah, so I'm empty on it. The teal is going to take a long time to bring up. The orange won't take so long. But I got to say, like, they definitely toggled the drop rate in the elite orbs. I opened up, first of all, when the change went live, if you didn't reset your game, the orbs didn't get updated. I opened up 400 elite orbs before I checked, and it wasn't in there. And then I reset the game, and then it was there. And then I opened up another 600, and I ended up with 18.
You're talking that you said orange elites, right? The raid ones? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, come on.
I saw a thing that is now in the Crucible store, the War store, but whatever message, I can't remember where I saw it. They didn't mention the raids. I was wondering about that, but it is in there.
It is in the raid orb, but it's also in the raid store with 100% drop rate for the orange. So at least you can spam buy it from the raid store to get up to gear tier 15, your Archangel.
I'm curious. I wonder if it's in my raid store right now. I'd like that 100% drop rate. All right, let me scroll down and... I'm missing it.
Wait, what? It's 100%. I thought it was every single one.
I don't have it.
Oh, I could have sworn, because as soon as you brought this up, I remember I didn't buy it.
Maybe you just got lucky. I don't have it there right now.
Well, hold on. Let me save some face. There's 3, 6, 9, 12. There's 12 unique pieces in there. It should be there. Eventually. Often than it's not.
All right, more often than not. I like that.
My bad. It's been there every time I checked.
All right, I was like, wait, I don't remember seeing it. Am I crazy? But all right, it's high drop rate, maybe not the 100%. All right, we got a new Heroes campaign, a new not so hard Heroes Chapter 3 coming out. What do you think of these new hard campaigns? I know a lot of longtime players want this hard content to do, but you know this is a 4-year-old game, so you got players of all levels, and I guess the devs wanted to make it more accessible to that. Do you think that this should have been reserved for more end game players, you know, to give us the content that we want that's difficult to fight, or do you like that it's been made more widely available to more players?
Yeah, it's a fine line to balance, right? Because I don't think they made the new challenges, the daily challenges, particularly difficult as they have in the past. And then these campaigns have been very much just get in there and auto. Like I took Wakanda in here and I just walked through it. Black Panther killed everybody. Nobody else took a turn except for the people that went before him.
I don't even know who I took in. It was just the default 5 hardest characters, and I just said auto. Yeah,
that's it. So like, I don't like that them wanting to open up the accessibility to newer players. I think is great. I think another way, a better way they could have done that, is taking off all the restrictions from the previous Doom chapters.
Oh, that's good. Or yeah, and some of the harder Heroes chapters, not the hard ones, but like chapter 7 of the Heroes, they had some requirements there that were tough at the time, but now it's kind of limiting for newer players. That's a great idea. I like that better.
Yeah, and then there's some characters in there to farm. I think it's actually just orange gear in there, but it would be that same kind of catch up mechanic ish, right? It'd be like, here's some more characters for you to farm, and then here's the goal. If you work on your campaigns, you can go here. But I guess it's better for the overall economy of the game that people have access to the new premium gear, which is teal.
And characters. We got Spider-Woman available. We got all these characters here. We have Punk, Shang-Chi, who are available in other places. We have Phyla-Vell available in other places. We have Anti-Venom available, and then we have the newly farmable Spider-Woman, who's not super valuable in the meta right now. Who do you think they're going to replace in some of these nodes? Because I think the leading theory among the community is these are just placeholder characters. We're going to get some of the other characters in there to replace them eventually. Who do you think gets first replaced out of these chapter 3 and chapter 4?
Well, first of all, they better be placeholders. I think Shang-Chi should be the first one replaced. Is he still
Blitz
in
store?
is he still in the Blitz orb or in the store?
He's in the store. He got moved to the store.
Yeah, he has no business being there. They should definitely put a Horseman character on there, even if it's Phantom X, even if it's like Doctor Strange Heartless. Like put some Horseman character.
Put Heartless, yeah. Heartless is in that arena orb. Yeah, put him as soon as he goes out of the arena orb, make him farmable as well because they like to double up that stuff. That's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. All right,
these characters are duds. This is not exciting.
Yeah, it's not that. All right, well we got 2 more chapters that are not here yet that are coming sometime. When do you think these are coming? Do you think these are coming sometime in December, or this is going to be our January farmable character releases?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get them like next week because I think the last time they released it 1 week after the other, right?
I believe it was like a week or 2 apart. I was expecting it down the road, but it was pretty quick. So
I think
next week. I hope you're right.
Yeah, the coolest part about these nodes is they have the one node that has gold orb fragments on it, and the one node that has training orb fragments on it. It's one of the Dazzler right there.
Oh, nice. I didn't notice that. I didn't look at all this. I was just looking at the character shards. I like that. But unfortunately, it's on the Dazzler node.
Yeah. So 5, what's that? 400 a day kind of thing. If you farm it, hopefully Dazzler gets replaced. Hopefully they often replace the character on that particular node with newer characters. Unless
they know that we need training mats and they'll never replace her.
Yeah, everyone just build up your Dazzler.
Replace her with Merc Lieutenant so we can do the Scourge.
There you go.
Scope, I'm being sarcastic. Don't really do that, please.
Well, it's going to happen tomorrow.
I shouldn't have said anything. That's my fault. If that happens, it's blame me, guys. All right, economy updates. This is from our roadmap, our 2022 second roadmap. If you look, they're doing some economy changes. They're reviewing the ability of resources, part of the game's evolution and progress. They have 4 bullet point tier 3, which have been done so far. Previously unavailable hard to get character shards and hard difficulty campaigns. I would have liked to see more, but they've given us Cersei, they've given us Wong, they've given us Spider-Woman, they've given us a few characters. Earn more teal gear into hard difficulty campaigns. They have done that. We've also gotten to the raid store updated with 12 slots for orange gear pieces, 12 slots for purple pieces. So that's all there. We're still missing this one though. Open teal gear orbs in the war store for elite crits. When do you think this is happening? Do you think that they forgot about this, or they're stealthily holding this back just to increase that FOMO?
Yeah, they're definitely dragging their feet a bit. I'm wondering if they're trying to gauge how many people are using the Crucible store still, or if they're going to the shards. If everybody's going to shards, maybe they want to hold on to this war teal orb a little bit more to try and get people to buy gear instead of buy shards. I don't really know how they factor all that kind of stuff in, but it feels like it should just be a switch, right? Like you write up the code for this orb, you put it in the game, your next chance, and then it's there. So I don't know why it wouldn't be here yet.
Just copy the Crucible orb, put the Crucible orb in the war store, make it whatever you want it to cost. You know, if we look at these orange gears, maybe make it 1,500 or something like that. That seems like it'd be a fair price.
You're dreaming. It's going to be like 5,000.
Oh no,
it's going to be like 5,000. You're dreaming.
That'd be horrible.
People have been hoarding that since the last Dark Dimension 4.
All right. Yeah, maybe not that much, but yeah. All right. So when is your prediction for this? Do you think we're going to get this sometime in 2022? We got about 16 days left before the end of the year. Do you think we're going to get this year, or it's going to be later in the update, or in update 6.7 down in February?
Well, it's either this week or next year. So one of those.
Well, I hope it's this week. Week.
So tomorrow or next week? Or next
year. Either way. All right, and that is it, guys. Some positives, some negatives, but I think we could laugh about it regardless. And that's what I'm trying to do, trying to have fun in Marvel Strike Force despite the challenges and the stress that the devs try to implore upon us. Any final thoughts, brother?
No, I hope everyone has fun with the Scourge event. I'm probably not going to see you until Christmas, so Merry Christmas, Valley, and all the
Merry Christmas,
maniacs.
Dorky. Merry Christmas, my brother.
Did you watch Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special?
I did.
And
It was good. It was good.
I
liked it. I liked it. I like that sweater. I want that sweater costume now. I didn't want it before. I was like, that's an ugly sweater. Now that I've seen it in the MCU, I like it. And oh, one more thing. I think I've asked you this previously. Have you watched Die Hard yet for Christmas?
Yes.
Nice. All right. Yeah. It's not Christmas in my house. The elf on the shelf hasn't moved until we saw John McClane drop Hans Gruber off of Nakatomi Tower. So it is officially Christmas at our household here.
Oh my God. All right, somebody please. We need like a doll of John McClane in the tank top so that Valley can set up John McClane throwing the elf off the tree.
Oh, yes.
And then we can complete the Christmas dream.
Yes, I like it. All right, guys. Dorky, it is always a pleasure, my friend. Make sure you check out all of his Cosmic Crucible stuff. That is where I go to do very good in Cosmic Crucible. His Envoy video is out. The embargo is lifted as of this, so make sure you check out this after you listen to this news video. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more Marvel Strike Force content, at least 5 videos per week. Usually it's a lot more than that. Dorky, it has been a pleasure as usual, my friend. Are you ready for that Hulk fist bump?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Hulk fist bump. DorkyDad, ValleyFlyin out. Have a great holidays.